When you hear the name Mars, what comes to mind? Probably a rich, silky chocolate bar melting in your mouth or a pack of colorful M&Ms that you can't stop popping one after another. Mars isn't just a candy brand, it's a cultural icon in America and around the world. But have you ever stopped to wonder what makes Mars chocolate so irresistible? How does a simple cacao bean transform into the mouth-watering treats that bring us comfort, happiness, and sometimes even nostalgia? Behind every bite of Mars chocolate lies an intricate process where science, precision, and passion work together to create something extraordinary. This isn't just candy, it's a global phenomenon, with Mars generating over $40 billion in annual revenue and producing more than 3 billion candy bars every year. From the humble beginnings of one determined man to an empire that sweetens the lives of millions, the story of Mars is nothing short of fascinating. To truly appreciate the magic of Mars, let's take a journey back in time. It all started in Tacoma, Washington in 1911. Franklin Clarence Mars, a man with an unshakable passion for confectionery, was in his small kitchen experimenting with handmade candies. Little did he know that these modest creations would lay the foundation for one of the biggest chocolate empires in history. But Franklin's road to success wasn't easy. It was paved with failure, resilience, and relentless determination. He failed not once, not twice, but 3 times. Yes, you read that right, 3 bankruptcies before success finally smiled on him. His first attempt, the Marobar brand, couldn't survive the brutal competition of the early 1900s. To make matters worse, Franklin's personal life took a hit as well. His wife divorced him, taking their son Forrest Mars Sr. to Canada. Most people would have given up at this point, but not Franklin. He packed his bags, moved to Seattle, remarried a woman, also named Ethel, and decided to give the candy business another shot. Unfortunately, fortune still turned a cold shoulder, and Franklin went bankrupt 2 more times. With only $400 left in his pocket, Franklin returned to his hometown in Minnesota with what he called his last hope. And that final attempt changed everything. In 1923, with Ethel by his side, Franklin created a candy bar that America had never seen before, the Milky Way. This wasn't just a chocolate bar, it was a revelation. A bar with a creamy milk filling coated in chocolate, offering a luxurious experience for just a nickel. The Milky Way became an instant sensation, catapulting Mars into the spotlight and transforming a struggling candy maker into a prominent name in the confectionery world. But the drama didn't end there. Franklin and Forrest had a strained relationship that never quite healed. In 1932, Forrest left the United States and moved to England, where he launched the Mars bar, a product that conquered the European market and marked the start of Mars' global expansion. Now that we know the story behind the brand, let's uncover how these chocolate masterpieces are made. Imagine standing in a lush cacao plantation in Ghana or the Ivory Coast, where it all begins. Tall cacao trees tower over you, their glossy green leaves shimmering under the tropical sun. When the cacao pods ripen, skilled farmers harvest them by hand with meticulous care. Every single pod matters because inside those pods lie the seeds of something magical, the cacao beans that will eventually become Mars chocolate. After harvesting, the beans are scooped out and left to ferment for about 5 to 7 days. This isn't just a random step. Fermentation is essential to developing the rich, complex flavors that make chocolate taste like chocolate. During this time, natural enzymes and microbes work their magic, unlocking the flavor precursors that will later bloom into that familiar, irresistible taste we all love. Once fermentation is complete, the beans are spread out to dry under the sun for several days or, in some cases, dried using specialized machines. This step is crucial for reducing moisture and preventing mold. The dried beans are then carefully bagged and shipped to chocolate factories around the world, including Mars' state-of-the-art facilities. The next chapter of their transformation begins in a place where technology and tradition meet. When the beans arrive at the factory, they undergo a rigorous cleaning process to remove any impurities like dust, pebbles, or fragments of shells. Only the best beans make the cut because Mars has a reputation to uphold, and quality is everything. After cleaning, the beans move on to roasting, and this is where the magic truly begins. The beans are roasted at carefully controlled temperatures ranging from 120 to 150 degrees Celsius for 30 to 60 minutes. This step unlocks the deep, intense cocoa flavors while releasing that intoxicating aroma we associate with chocolate. If you were anywhere near a Mars factory during roasting, the smell alone would be enough to make your mouth water. Once roasted to perfection, the beans are cracked open, and the outer shells are separated, leaving behind cacao nibs, the pure essence of chocolate. These nibs are then ground into a thick, smooth paste known as cacao mass or cocoa liquor. This is the foundation of all chocolate products, containing both cocoa solids and cocoa butter in their natural form. But the journey doesn't stop there. To create the silky smooth Mars chocolate we love, the cacao mass is blended with additional cocoa butter, sugar, and milk powder, for milk chocolate varieties. The exact ratio of these ingredients is a closely guarded secret because even the slightest variation can alter the taste and texture. Once blended, the mixture passes through massive steel rollers that grind it into particles smaller than 30 microns, so small your tongue can't even detect them. This is what gives chocolate that melt-in-your-mouth quality that feels like pure luxury. Next comes a fascinating process called conching. The chocolate mixture is placed in huge conch machines, where it is continuously mixed and aerated for anywhere from 12 to 72 hours. Why so long? Because this slow, meticulous process refines the texture, smooths out any rough flavors, and enhances the overall aroma. It's like letting a fine wine breathe, except in this case, it's chocolate becoming silkier and more flavorful by the hour. Once the conching is complete, the chocolate undergoes tempering, one of the most critical stages in chocolate making. Tempering involves heating and cooling the chocolate to precise temperatures so that the cocoa butter crystallizes in the right form. This step is what gives chocolate its glossy shine, satisfying snap, and long-lasting stability. Poorly tempered chocolate looks dull and feels waxy, but perfectly tempered Mars chocolate gleams like polished marble and melts perfectly in your mouth. After tempering, the liquid chocolate is poured into molds to create bars, shells, or centers for Mars' wide range of products, from Snickers and Twix to M&Ms and Milky Way. The molds are vibrated to remove any trapped air bubbles, ensuring a flawless finish. The chocolate is then cooled until it hardens into its final shape. At this point you might think the journey is over, but not quite. Every single bar undergoes strict quality checks, from surface inspection to taste testing, to ensure it meets Mars' uncompromising standards. Only the best chocolates make it to the next step, packaging. Packaging at Mars is a high-speed marvel of automation. Advanced machines wrap each bar in protective materials that shield it from light, moisture, and air, keeping it fresh and delicious. The packaging process is designed not just for efficiency but also for sustainability, as Mars has committed to making all its packaging recyclable or biodegradable. Once packaged, these chocolates embark on their final journey, to stores, vending machines, and homes around the globe, bringing moments of joy to millions every single day. But Mars' story isn't just about indulgence, it's about responsibility too. The company has pledged to source 100% of its cocoa sustainably by 2025 through its Cocoa for Generations program. This means working directly with farmers, providing training, and promoting environmentally friendly farming practices. Mars also partners with organizations like Rainforest Alliance and Fair Trade to ensure ethical sourcing. On top of that, the company is committed to reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 27% across its entire value chain by 2025 and achieving full carbon neutrality by 2050. Renewable energy, waste reduction, and zero landfill policies are part of Mars' larger vision for a sustainable future. Ever wondered why Kraft Mac and Cheese is such an American classic? It's more than just a quick meal in a blue box. It's a nostalgic comfort food that has been feeding generations, especially during challenging times. Picture this: a warm bowl of creamy, cheesy macaroni that's ready in minutes, bringing families together around the table. That's the magic of Kraft Mac and Cheese, a dish that started as an affordable solution and evolved into one of the most beloved processed foods in the world. Today, Kraft sells over 1 million boxes every single day, but the journey from wheat fields to your dinner plate is far more fascinating than you might imagine. The story of Kraft Mac and Cheese began during tough economic times. Its affordability, ease of preparation, and high energy content made it a household hero during the Great Depression. Families struggling to put a hearty meal on the table turned to this simple yet filling dish. But its biggest moment came during World War II, when meat and dairy supplies were scarce. Kraft Mac and Cheese stepped in as a lifesaver, offering essential nutrition without the need for fresh ingredients. It was quick, affordable, and satisfying, a perfect solution for millions of Americans trying to make ends meet. Since then, Kraft Heinz has continued to innovate, expanding its product line globally and optimizing its production process to keep up with skyrocketing demand. Today, it's not just a food, it's a cultural icon. So, how is Kraft Mac and Cheese actually made? The process starts far away from the store shelves, in the golden wheat fields of America. This isn't ordinary wheat, it's high-protein durum wheat, chosen for its high gluten content, which helps create pasta that holds its shape and stays firm even when bathed in hot, melted cheese sauce. Farmers harvest the wheat and send it to processing facilities, where the journey to your plate begins. Upon arrival at the factory, the wheat goes through an advanced screening system to remove impurities, stones, and debris. Then it's ground into semolina flour. Unlike regular flour, semolina has a coarser texture and a pale yellow hue, which gives the pasta its distinct firmness and elasticity. This is what prevents the macaroni from becoming mushy when boiled. The semolina is then mixed with water in precise proportions before entering massive kneading machines. These machines work tirelessly to create a smooth, elastic dough free of air bubbles or defects. The texture must be perfect because the next stage is all about shaping the macaroni we know and love. The dough is pushed through an extruder, an impressive piece of equipment that uses immense pressure to force the dough through metal molds. These molds cut the dough into tiny curved tubes, giving us the iconic elbow macaroni shape. After shaping, the pasta heads into a fluid bed drying system, where circulating hot air gradually removes moisture. Drying is a delicate process. Too fast and the pasta becomes brittle, too slow and its texture suffers. The temperature is carefully maintained between 90 and 100 degrees Celsius for 6 to 12 hours. This ensures a long shelf life and preserves the pasta's quality so it cooks perfectly at home. Now that the pasta is ready, it's time for the real star of the show, the cheese. But how does creamy, flavorful cheese transform into a fine powder that can last for months without refrigeration? It all starts with real cheese, not artificial substitutes. Blocks of cheese are melted down and blended with a secret mix of seasonings, including paprika, turmeric, and annatto. Paprika adds a mild, smoky flavor, turmeric enhances nutrition while giving a warm golden tone, and annatto, extracted from the achiote tree, creates that signature bright orange color that Kraft Mac and Cheese is famous for. Once the cheese mixture is perfected, it undergoes an advanced spray drying process. The molten cheese is sprayed into a chamber filled with hot air at 200 degrees Celsius. As the cheese droplets hit the hot air, their moisture evaporates instantly, leaving behind ultrafine cheese powder. To ensure smoothness and meltability, a small amount of sodium phosphate is added. This prevents clumping and guarantees that the cheese powder turns into a creamy sauce when mixed with milk and butter at home. The result? That velvety, cheesy goodness that Americans have adored for decades. Next, the pasta and cheese powder are portioned and packed into Kraft's iconic blue boxes. But precision matters here. Every single box must contain the exact right amount of pasta and cheese powder for a perfect experience. Automated systems weigh and fill the boxes, while advanced sensors check for consistency. Before leaving the factory, each package goes through strict quality control. The weight must be precise, seals must be airtight, and yes, the cheese powder packet absolutely must be inside. After all, nothing could ruin your day faster than finding an empty box without that golden packet of happiness. In addition to the traditional box version, Kraft has also introduced convenient microwave cups for busy lifestyles. Just add water, microwave for a few minutes, stir in the cheese powder, and you've got a warm, comforting meal in under 5 minutes. This innovation has made Kraft Mac and Cheese an even bigger hit among students, office workers, and anyone who needs a quick, satisfying bite on the go. But Kraft isn't just focused on taste, it's also working towards sustainability. The company has adopted eco-friendly packaging, reducing plastic usage and increasing recyclable materials. Many of its factories now use renewable energy, cutting down on carbon emissions. They've also optimized water usage to conserve resources. These efforts reflect Kraft Heinz's commitment to making comfort food in a way that's better for the planet. Now let's shift gears and explore another iconic treat with a fascinating story, fortune cookies. Everyone knows these crispy golden cookies that come with a slip of paper predicting your future, or at least offering a lucky number for your next lottery ticket. But did you know that fortune cookies are not originally from China? In fact, both San Francisco and Los Angeles have long debated over where the first fortune cookie was made. One theory credits Makoto Hagiwara, a Japanese immigrant and the landscape designer of the Japanese tea garden in Golden Gate Park, who served these cookies to visitors in the early 1900s. Another story points to David Young, a Chinese immigrant who founded the Hong Kong Noodle Company in Los Angeles and began giving out cookies with uplifting messages to the poor. The modern fortune cookie boom came after machines were invented to automate the process. In 1981, Yong Lee, a Korean immigrant, patented the world's first fully automated fortune cookie machine, revolutionizing production. But even before that, in 1974, Edward Louis created the first machine capable of inserting a fortune slip and folding the cookie. These innovations turned fortune cookies into the restaurant staple we know today. At San Francisco's Golden Gate Fortune Cookie Factory, They still make cookies the traditional way, with care and quality ingredients. Flour, sugar, eggs, butter, and flavorings are blended into a smooth, thin batter. Unlike traditional cookies, fortune cookies must remain flexible after baking so they can be folded without breaking. The batter is poured in small circles onto hot plates, then baked for just under 5 minutes until golden. As soon as they come out, workers move quickly, within 4 seconds, to slip a fortune message inside and fold the warm cookie into its signature crescent shape. Timing is everything. If the cookie cools even slightly, it hardens and becomes impossible to fold. The fortunes inside these cookies range from inspirational quotes to lucky numbers, and at Golden Gate, you can even customize your own messages. Tourists flock to the factory to watch the process, take Instagram-worthy photos, and sample freshly made cookies. Imperfect cookies that don't make the cut are handed out for free, while perfect batches are packaged and sold as unique souvenirs. Prices vary, with custom messages starting at $17.50 per batch and giant souvenir cookies available for $2. And yes, for just 50 cents, you can snap the perfect social media shot of the cookie-making process. Speaking of giant cookies, if you head to Teo Restaurant in Las Vegas, you'll find a fortune cookie like no other. A massive dessert filled with rich white and dark chocolate mousse. This indulgent twist turns a simple cookie into a show-stopping treat for special occasions. It's the ultimate way to end a night in Vegas, with a little sweetness and a lot of luck. From the creamy comfort of Kraft Mac and Cheese to the crisp mystery of fortune cookies, these foods aren't just meals, they're pieces of American culture with incredible stories behind them. The next time you tear open that iconic blue box or crack open a fortune cookie, remember the craftsmanship, technology, and history that make these simple treats so special.